Good morning, good morning, good morning. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, and you are breathing. Today is Friday, May the 12th, 2023. My name is Stephen Carnegie, and welcome to This Is Just a Thought. Today's word of the day, bloviate, which means to write verbosely and windly. Bloviate. Hope everyone is enjoying their Friday or will enjoy their Friday. End of the work week is finally here. Man. And we have some lovely weather here in North Carolina. Temps in the 80s. The sun is shining, like I said, and it don't look like it's going to stop till sometime, maybe Saturday evening or maybe even Sunday evening is what they're forecasting. But up until then, in the meantime, in between time, it is beautiful. And I got a little work. Lucky me. Story of my life, story of my life. You can always set your clock and your watch. If it's a beautiful day outside, I'm working. If it's raining, I'm off. It's just the way it works. It is. Every now and again, I get a little bit of a blessing and have a beautiful day. It's sunny, no rain in sight. But for the most part, set your clock to that. If it's beautiful outside, I'm at work inside. If it's raining, I'm off. Just kidding. All right, let's move along here. Let's get it moving. Let's get it going. Let's talk about it. Wow. Another one of my NBA playoff predictions didn't come through. Philadelphia 76ers versus the Boston Celtics. The damn Celtics won. Celtics won 95-86. Jason Tatum finally showed up. He showed up near the end. I guess you could say he showed up near the end of the game when it counted. He hit a few threes, layups, caused a little bit of havoc in melee. But up until then, he couldn't hit the side of a wall with a sledgehammer. He couldn't hit nothing. But that final quarter, few minutes winding down, he started hitting threes, and it gave Boston the lead over the 76ers. Harden and Embiid, they played, but it just wasn't their night. Just wasn't. I ain't predicting no more games. I'm not, because I'm horrible at it. And that's even in football, basketball, baseball, hockey, whatever you want to call it. I'm horrible at it. But I didn't predict anything for the hockey as far as the Carolina Hurricanes, but they closed out the series, and now they're waiting on either the Toronto Blue Jays or I can't remember that team from Florida that they're waiting on. One of those teams they're going to face in the next round of the Stanley playoffs. Didn't predict that, but hey, maybe that's why they won. Maybe that's why they won. I don't know. I keep my mouth off of it. Team usually wins. But yeah, that I am. Let's see. I screwed up the Boston 76ers prediction. Screwed up the Miami Heat. That game. Who were they playing? Miami Heat and the. I can't even remember. I screwed that. Then that LA and Warriors game. I screwed that one up. I'm just going to bow out gracefully. But one of my predictions did come through for me. Denver Nuggets versus the Phoenix Suns. There's hope yet. I may keep on giving my predictions. All you need is one. All you need is one. And I got me one, baby. The Denver Nuggets defeated the Phoenix Suns 125-100 on the Phoenix Suns home court to close out the series. There won't be a game 7, and they're waiting on the winners of that LA Lakers Golden State Warriors series. So yeah, Phoenix got defeated again, just like last year, and I believe the year before that, or another year or two before that. They got defeated on their home court and got kicked out of the playoffs. Booker and Durant, with Durant being added to the squad, it was a show enough thing. They couldn't pull it off. Don't get me wrong, Durant and Booker, those are some great players, but it just wasn't in the cards for them. Yeah. I dare I say Murray And I hope I say his name right. Djokovic, the Joker. Man, that guy's a problem. He's a problem. Whoever the winner is of that Warriors LA game, you guys got a problem on your head with Djokovic. Joker, the Joker. He ain't no joke. That guy moves for a big man. Watching him last night, I'm really now starting to see why he's the however many times MVP. Um, for a big man, usually big men, when they sit up under that goal, they're stationary. They're planted. You can't move them. But this guy, when that ball goes up, whether he's putting it up or somebody else is putting it up, he's looking at one or two things. Either it goes in or it comes out, and wherever it comes out, he's going to be there. His feet is always moving. That's a sign of a great player, big or small. His feet is always moving. He's going to wherever that ball is at, and either he's going to try to put it back in or he's going to kick it out to somebody else. He's a problem. He ain't slowing down for nothing or no one. So, hey, I'm 1 for 3 in my predictions, and I feel good. I think I'll keep up my streak and start predicting some more games. Tonight is going to be LA and the Warriors. I believe Anthony Davis is still out. So it's up to LeBron and that other supporting cast to be done away with Golden State. We will see what happens. And also, I believe tonight it is Miami and I still can't remember who Miami is playing. I'm drawing a blank. Why am I drawing a blank? But whoever they're playing, Miami and I can't remember who it is. Slip up on my part. I apologize, but hey, we'll see what happens tonight because it's going to be I think it's going to be a rather interesting series in the West. Like I said, whether it's Golden State or the Lakers, you guys got a problem on your hand with Denver. Denver has some people that come off the bench. They're deep on that bench also. I didn't realize that till last night. They are deep on that bench. So whoever it is, Golden State or LA, you guys got a dogfight on your hand. Just do. We'll see what happens. All right, let's talk about it. I haven't really talked about it. Here we are. We're getting ready to go into the 3rd week of May. Yeah, time is zooming by. Man, time is just rolling, ain't it? Wow, I could have sworn it was just January 1st. And here we are in May, getting ready to go into June. Halfway through the year. For those that don't know, May is, of course, Mental Health Awareness Month. And that's something that I talk about a lot here on This Is Just a Thought. At one point in time, I was that guy that would say mental health is just a ploy for folks I still say it, for folks to show their natural born, you know what? And many times I do feel like that is what people do. But for the most part, I got to be honest with you, mental health is real. It is. It just is. I don't care what I say or how you say it or how you feel about it. It's real. It's here. It's now. It's prevalent. And it's everywhere. Years ago, you didn't have this open, frank conversation anywhere outside of with a doctor. Or maybe you really couldn't have an open, frank conversation with your own family either. Because a lot of your family members, like me, at one point in time was like, ain't nothing wrong with you, man. You just need to get up, get over whatever the hell you're going through. But now, we're having open and frank discussions any and everywhere. It doesn't matter. And that's because we have to. It's affecting a lot of people. It isn't just affecting, what would typically be the normal group of folks, those that are poor or whatever or what have you, or they have a lot of trauma in their life. It's affecting everyone. It has came out and it's affecting everyone across the board. White, black, young, old, gay, straight, foreign, whatever, however you word it, it affects everyone. Mental health is alive and well. It is real. So I just wanted to come and talk to you guys a little bit about it. I'm gonna make this short and sweet, sad to say, but I will be diving into it in some more podcasts, especially for this month of May. Because also next month, if you've ever followed me or if you've been following me, June, of course, is something I hold near and dear to my heart as far as the awareness driven months that we have throughout the year. It's Men's Health Month, and we'll be talking about mental health there. We have in the past. So we know that mental health is here, and it affects any and everyone across all demographics, whether poor or rich. It doesn't matter, male or female, it doesn't matter. But I will say this as far as males go, it looks like us as men are now realizing or have realized and are accepting the fact that we have to talk about mental health too. We just do. No longer can we do that old machismo thing where we just bottle it all up and keep it inside, and a lot of us take it to our graves because mental health, it's stress driven. So if you got a whole lot of stress on you, man, that heart is pumping, trying to get blood flowing. It's taking a lot of us out. So I think we realize as men, black or white, young or old, or whatever, what have you, we have to talk about it. We got to find somebody to talk to. As far as mental health goes for me, do I have moments where I feel like I am about to implode? Bet your bottom dollar. I have many days like that. I do. Now, some folks, when they have these moments, they, of course, like I said, they bottle it all up inside and they keep it there. Some will take it to their grave, or some will come out and they will implode. Not explode, but implode from the inside out. And when it comes out, it's rage. That's a problem. That's a huge problem. And here recently with these mass shootings, that seem to has been the main talking point. That seems to be the main catalyst for these mass shootings. Mental health. Now, is it mental health where it's something that is indeed a mental problem? And what I mean by mental problem, something you were born with. I really can't give you that, because it appears that what they're saying is the contributing factor for a lot of folks' mental health is stress and dealing with life, day-to-day dealings in life. Things aren't going your way, not how you planned or you thought it should be, or you're getting into it with a certain person or individual or group of people, and you're stressed out about that, so it comes out in a violent way. Yeah, there are many facets in mental health, but now it appears to be mental health and folks dealing with life and their anger issues. Like I said, with all of these mass shootings, that seems to be the catalyst. That's the main topic, talking point. Um, Mental health because of folks' inability to deal with life and getting along with others, and realizing and acknowledging that people aren't going to think like you, people don't look like you, they're not going to think like you, they're not going to believe the same things you're going to believe. And a lot of folks take that to heart and they become violent. And they say it's because of their mental health. Yeah, I can give you that to an extent. But it's like I always say, mental health or no mental health. When you pick up a gun and start harming folks, that's where things go south for me. And that's where I got to draw the line. And I say, you really no. So when I say that mental health is a triggering or catalyst for what appears to be the violence here in the United States, and not just the United States, but abroad, uh, I mean it is really showing us that we as adults, and some young children and young kids, teenagers also, we as human beings, we have problems dealing with our emotions. And when I say dealing with our emotions, like I said earlier, everybody's not going to think like you. Everybody doesn't look like you. Everybody's not going to feel the way you feel. Yeah, that's life. Things are going to always go your way. So what has happened, or what is happening, that is causing us as a society to feel like we have no other course of action other than to be violent? Is it us throwing adult temper tantrums? Yeah. Mental health, like I said, it affects any and everyone. I think wholeheartedly that a lot of us, maybe myself included, we really need to find a avenue to get things off our minds and our chest. And that's just not confined to men, it's women too. Because like I always tell you guys, I work in retail, and working in retail, I have the privilege, if I can say that, I have the privilege of observing people and observing their interactions and reactions and their actions. And man, I got to be honest with you. Here lately, within the past year, 2 years, maybe it is COVID, maybe it's not. Maybe the isolation and the quarantining it pushed it on along and pushed it all out. But me just sitting back watching folks, observing them, I can honestly tell you I'm not so sure how they put the mental health into the physical side, meaning you were born with a mental defect. I think those folks that were born with a mental defect, they aren't really the problem. It's the ones that are going through life that can't deal with life. Because I see a lot of people working in retail, and I'm looking like, you're really spazzing out over this? This is what you choose to lose it over after everything you have going on. Now, that may seem heartless or cold, but just maybe, I know you're going to say, hey, maybe that moment that you're speaking of and you're questioning and you're saying that you're going to spaz out over this, maybe there were other contributing factors that led up to this. I'll give you that. I just will, because I know I've been down that road myself. I'm not going to stand up here on this soapbox and scream and holler and look down at you and tell you what you are, you aren't, and yada, yada. I'm not going to do all that because I've been down that road also. But what I did, what I found out, what I discovered when I went down that road and I spazzed out or snapped on someone, they really weren't the problem. I wasn't dealing with my own personal real issues that had me in my feelings. So I think that's another thing, folks. Another thing that folks are having a problem with. It's an extension of how to deal with life. Yeah, I could tell you wholeheartedly and without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, I've been down that road where I'm somewhere or I'm talking to interacting with somebody and they say something or do something and I spaz out and then I think about it later. I really wasn't upset at that person. It was something that I didn't deal with, and somehow, some way, that was the trigger, and it contributed to it, and I spazzed out. So yeah, I've seen a lot of folks working in retail, that customers, that I think that's one of the main contributing factors. They aren't dealing with what they have going on in their life. So they come into a place of business and they spaz out over any and everything, whether it be the wrong price, whether it be a coupon not coming off. That really throws me. Or whether they feel you're not treating them with respect, or whether they feel that you're being too nice. Now that one takes me out. When someone feels you're being too nice and respectful to them, and they spaz out, yeah, you got a problem. You got a whole life problem there, homie, and I don't want no parts of it. I can't deal with it. Yeah, I've had folks spaz out over that. Sounds odd, crazy. It's not that instant or that moment. It's something in your past or something in your right beside you that's not too far off that you haven't dealt with. And that could be a job, family member, bills, or whatever, or what have you, or your financial status. Because, one thing that came out that I've really had a problem with, and I'm still trying to grasp it and wrap my hands around it, when they say that an overwhelming number of Black Americans are having mental problems due to their stressful situation and dealing with race. We've been dealing with the issue of race of us as an individual and as a group of Americans for how long? And now all of a sudden it's gotten too much. It's a mental burden to the point that we're so mentally bogged down, we can't interact, we can't cope, we can't deal, we're angry, we're violent. What happened? What did I miss? I'm not making light of the situation because, yes, some folks, they may have that problem, but I can't give you that collectively as a whole that black folks they have mental moments so much so to the point that they resort to violence and whatever or what have you, and the stress of not having enough money or shelter over our heads, it leads to our mental anguish. I can give it to you a little, but I can't give it to you as the full culprit of how we deal and cope in life. It is a problem. It is. And it does affect your mental health. I've been down that road before too. It certainly opens your eyes and makes you think. Because, like I said, I thought about it, and I could give you a little bit, but I can't give it all to you. As for me, as a black male that is getting ready to be 50 years old in September, and I've been in several stressful situations. I'm still in a stressful situation. Stress is around me all day, every day, and that's every human being walking this earth. How do I deal with, or how do I cope with stress? Main thing is I pray. I know that sounds odd in this day and age. A lot of folks don't like to talk about religion or spirituality, but what's the alternative? What's the alternative? Dealing with these fools out here? So yeah, I pray a lot. I just do. Pray a lot, read a lot. I do this podcast. Whether you believe it or not, this podcast is my release. Yeah. Now, there certainly is other things I could find to do to help me relieve mental stress, but this is something I enjoy. Reading is something I enjoy. And hey, I got to pray. I pray every day. So like I've said before, I pray every day, multiple times a day. I pray at work. I got to pray at work. I got to pray at work. There's no way around it. If I didn't pray before I go into work, while I'm at work and after work, I would probably end up on one of your world stars or some other social media site as wow, just some crazed black man that's amping out in the middle of the store. That would be me if I didn't pray. So talk to someone and pray and find your outlet. You just have to. You got to find you an outlet in this thing we call life. There's no way around it. That there isn't. To anyone that's out there that's going through it, that may feel like they're alone, no one understands, no one cares. Hey, I understand wholeheartedly. I've been down that road also. But you got to find somehow, some way, you got to find the belief that things are going to get better. And they are. I often tell myself, and sometimes I have to remind myself of this multiple times during the day. Hey, you're 10 toes down. You're breathing. So there has to be a way up out of this. Because if there wasn't a way up out of this, you wouldn't be here. Maybe that's what folks aren't aware of, or they haven't been told, because I was told that since a child. Any day you wake up and you're breathing, you're ahead of the game. You just got to get in the game. Not to sound like some old cliche, but that's what has one of the things that have kept me moving and motivated. And I find it to be true. Every day that you wake up and you take in that breath of air, that breath, and you breathe it back out, and you put your feet down on that floor, you're 10 toes down, and you are breathing. So you're ahead of the game. You just got to get in it. Life has been given to you once more in your life. What are you going to do with it? Get moving. A lot of folks, like I said, that COVID, that quarantine, staying inside, yeah, it was a contributing factor to the increase in mental health issues in this country, in this world. But we're open now. You have the ability to move around freely now. I know there was some hesitation because when we first started getting back out after COVID and quarantining, I was hesitant. I found myself looking like, I don't know if I want to go in there. I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know if I want to touch that. I don't know if I feel comfortable going to a show, a venue, whether it's inside or outside, to hear some good old music, something I thoroughly enjoy. I'm kind of hesitant about that. I understand it, and it's a given. Hey, it's life. Coming out of COVID, yeah, I think everyone felt a little bit of hesitancy. Just did. Everyone was hesitant. We had to. We had a whole world literally taken away from us and shaken up and then given back and said, hey, adapt, move forward. Just did. So if I could say anything to anyone, like I said, is out there feeling like they're alone and no one understands, no one cares, find you someone to talk to or turn to your own spirituality. That works for me. That's help. Not saying it'll work for you, not saying it'll help you, but it is an option. Think about it. What you're doing now really ain't working too well, is it? Because you're standing still, not moving, not motivated. Life is really and truly passing you by. So, if I could say another thing, if I could say to start with how we combat this mental health problem in our country, in this world, um, folks got to find them an outlet. They got to find something that makes them feel some semblance of self worth and go from there. I don't have any answers. If you have to go talk to a doctor or a shrink or whatever or what have you, by all means. If you have to go talk to a pastor or some other spiritual advisor, by all means. If you got to talk to a family member, find your family member, find your friend, find someone, use some tool, whatever it be, to get you out of the funk you're in. It's very easy to get in. It's hard to get out. But we got to start somewhere. Just do. All right, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to skedaddle. Got to go to work today. I was off Wednesday and Thursday. Now I got to go back in. Whew. Wow, wow. Well, that's all for me today, and I want to thank you all for lending me your ears this morning. Continue to like, support, share, offer feedback. Anchor, which I'm sharing this podcast with, has a great feature where you can leave a voice response, and I would love to hear your voice. Along with YouTube, hey, get in that comment section. Let me know what you think, yay or nay. Whether you like me or not, hey, I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm pretty thick-skinned. I won't bite. You can also make monetary contributions. Continue to follow and listen on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Breaker, YouTube, Overcast, Pocket Cast Radio, Public, Verbal, and WordPress. And as always, wherever you are streaming, hit that like and subscribe button so you can get notified when I drop these podcasts. Keep you in the loop. My name is Stephen Carnegie. Thank you for listening. This is Just a Thought. Amen.